Mike McCool here in the Royal Examiner studio, and with me today is Ed Richards. Ed is the band director. Is that the proper title, Ed? Band director?
Bandmaster.
Oh, excuse me, because he's been doing it so long. Now he's a band master at Randolph-Macon Academy.
Right.
Ed is also the director at the the
American
Legion
Community Band.
Because it's got a long name, but everybody just calls it the Community Band. And my son played in your band,
Yes,
there for a while. And they're going to be putting on a concert July 2nd, and they're kind of regrouping and coming back together. So I wanted Ed to come in, talk about the band. And, of course, they're always looking for members.
Right.
And we're going to talk about Ed's retirement, too. They're throwing a big wingding for him, so we want to congratulate Ed for lasting as long as he has.
Thank you.
And, you're a staple here in the community, Ed. I know every parade, you got that band marching down the road. So.
Right. Well, I've been at the Academy 43 years.
Oh, my gosh, that's hard to believe.
I start counting up the apple blossoms and that kind of thing. 43 years of apple blossom at RMA, and then I add in the 5 years I worked for the festival when I was at Shenandoah, and the 2 years I marched in it before that. And
right.
I think I've been at more apple blossoms than most people.
And you've been to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade? Did you do that one?
No, actually, we've never done Macy's.
Okay.
We've done the St. Patrick's Day Parade in New York.
No, that's what it was, yeah.
We do that just about every year. Of course, we haven't the last 2 years because of COVID.
Right, right.
They haven't had the parade the last 2 years, as a matter of fact.
Well, it's always, bands are something that parades need.
Yes.
And bands are something our community needs. I know the Royal Examiner has videotaped these community band concerts in the last several years, and you can see those on our page. But it's just a shame that we don't get enough people to come out to watch them. They're so good, and this community band is really good, seasoned, experienced players. I mean, I know that. So let's talk about how we can get the community band moving.
Well, what basically we've done is we played our last concert the week that everything shut down for COVID, which is 14 months ago.
Right. And
the band has not been together since. We've not been able to because of the distancing required and everything. So we feel like things are to a point now that we can, with proper precautions, we can start rehearsing again. So our first rehearsal is going to be June 1st. It'll be in the band room at RMA where we've always practiced at 7:30 in the evening. We know we're going to get many of our former members back. There are a few, though, that have moved on or for various reasons won't be. So we're looking for new players as well. We're always looking for new players anyway.
You make room, don't you?
Yes, we do.
Sometimes I notice the horn section is really big and then it's a little small.
Well, it's a community band, and that's how it should be.
Yeah.
There are times when we have more players than others because everybody's a volunteer. No one's paid for this, and we just have a good time.
Yeah, you can tell they really enjoy it.
And we turn out a good product, too. I think
it is good.
Music really
good.
is. But it's going to be a rebuilding situation because if I'm guessing, many of the members probably haven't touched their horns in a year or more, and so we
have a couple rehearsals.
Yeah, well, we have 5 rehearsals planned, and then we're hoping to play on July 2nd for the annual fireworks and concert at the 4-H Center. So I've talked to Jeremy Stanford. They've got the fireworks ordered, and it'll be the night of July 2nd.
Well, that's great. That's a Friday.
Friday night, yes.
So it will be your typical July concert with the Stars and Stripes?
Oh, absolutely. We close all our concerts with the Stars and Stripes forever. And
that song gives you goosebumps. I'm getting them right now just thinking about it.
There you go. And we'll do a lot of patriotic songs, pop songs, that kind of thing. It's going to be a lighter concert. We're very mindful of the fact that we're starting back up, so we're going to select our program appropriately.
Play the songs that you can hit the notes.
Exactly.
So where are you short this year on players? Where do you think?
I honestly won't know until
the 1st.
June 1st, and I see who shows up.
Right.
But we're hopeful. I co-direct the band with 2 other conductors, Ron Dye and Mark Melichek, And Ron got on the phone the other night and called just about all of our old time members, and everybody's excited to come back. So we've got some precautions we're going to have to take to be safe and to do this, but they want to play. They want to play their instruments. So we'll see, and hopefully we'll get some new folks, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for new players, and to fill out the band even more, and we'll be ready to go.
And how about this this party we're going to throw for you? Because I'm hearing all sorts of stuff on social media about you've like invited the whole world to come to this thing, or if you've ever been a student of Ed's, they want you to come, right?
My good friend Michael Williams, who owns the M-Dub chauffeur service, but Michael is setting this up to celebrate my retirement. So that's it's going to be at the Soul Mountain on June the 19th, and he's handling all the details. Yeah,
it'll be fun. I mean, I'm sure that we'll get some of your students to show up, and if they fill the room up, they'll just move it outdoors to the parking lot.
I'm sure. I believe that we're even going to have live music.
There you go.
So
no band music.
Well, it'll be a band, but I mean it's a band called Mandatory Fun, which is made up of four faculty members or former faculty members of the Academy.
Well, there you go.
Michael D'Amato, our choir director, who's replacing me, will be the new band director at RMA. Okay. And James Toffel and Andy Harriman, who played in my band at RMA, is the drummer. And then Brandon Sloan, who used to teach English there. He's now somewhere else. But
well, I'll give you credit because I tell you, my youngest daughter, played in your band. She played the clarinet, but she would never play it in front of anybody. Remember, Michelle?
Yes, I do. Yes.
How you got her to play that thing, I don't know.
Right.
He's a master at teaching kids. It always amazes me how you can take a bunch of 5th and 6th graders that never had an instrument in their hand, and in literally 6 months they're playing a concert.
I have to say that the rewards in teaching, those are the rewards, and not just after 6 months, but after 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 years when you have those students for many years. That's really is what has kept me in the business. Yeah,
the music, and that's something that you can take with you your whole life is that music. It's. It always reminds me of those commercials I've seen, until I sat down at the piano, and played a song or two. It's just amazing what people...
Well, we hope what we're doing with community band is an extension of what we do as music teachers.
Right.
And, whether it's myself or our local music teachers at Skyline and Warren County High School or...
And they have struggled this last year or so with band.
We've all struggled.
Just struggled with.
My kids have not been able to perform anywhere for anybody in over a year, and my numbers are way down in my program. And it's when you can't do anything, your hands are tied.
Yeah.
And there are tremendous restrictions that we have to operate under. We're going to have to. I want to make sure I talk about those before I'm done here,
sure.
Because the community band is going to have to do the same thing. Because COVID can be spread so easily from the aerosols that are exhausted from the instruments when you play. It's just like singing.
Sure.
And so we're distancing and masking the instruments. So I can talk about this. I brought my list so I wouldn't miss anything. But things that we're going to have to do and that we've been doing with bands, I think, everywhere. First is distancing. That's very important. The guideline has been 10-foot distancing from the Virginia Department of Health. We're now able to, in certain circumstances, decrease that to 6-foot distancing. Using of bell covers and on the bells of the brass instruments especially, but it's like a mask for the instrument, so that as the sound hopefully travels through it, but the aerosols spit basically doesn't. And likewise, catching the spit from the instruments. You don't want to talk about the spit, right?
I know, right. But that's the big thing,
you got to drain that spit valve, and but so we use cups for that. Some places they use some various kinds of pads, but a cup works well. Just like a styrofoam cup, and then throw it in the trash. Don't leave it on the floor. Sanitizing everything, spraying down the chairs and the stands and that
Sure.
sort of thing. And the big thing that we are going to do with the community band is we are asking everybody that comes back to be vaccinated. And the reason we're doing that is because most of our members are older people. We have many members in their 70s and even a few in their 80s.
Right.
And we just think it's so important that we don't want to have a super spreader event. We don't want to have somebody get sick because we started community band back and we weren't careful.
Right, right. And again, most people that are in that age group, like us, that have got their vaccination done.
Yes, they have.
And there's a few holdouts, but I think most people at that age group have done it or will do it.
Right.
And the audience, we're doing this thing outdoors.
Right.
That's the nice thing about it, because typically a lot of years are done outdoors at the gazebo.
Most of
and
them
at
are,
the,
except the wintertime.
and Christmas,
Christmas, right.
But this outdoor event will be good for the public, and they're doing it in the amphitheater. Is that where you're doing it at up there, or where are we doing
In
it?
the amphitheater is the plan. Our numbers are going to have to dictate how we configure ourselves, because we're going to have to do distancing on the stage. It's certainly a much better situation to play outdoors, where you've got the free air circulation. But I'm going to look at whatever our options are. If we have to reconfigure, if we have to even play in front of the stage, we'll do what we have to do to make it work.
You'll be playing in
And
the
be
round,
safe.
and the audience. So basically, you'll have this big group, and the audience will just sit around you and listen to it. Like
However we
theater
have
in the
to do it.
round. You know what I mean?
However we have to do it. I mean,
It might be a new experience.
it might be. And quite honestly, I can't really tell you how I'm going to do it yet until I know how many members I'm going to have
Right.
once we start back up. But I do know that we are going to follow those guidelines and be safe, and that's paramount to being able to put this concert on.
And I've said it before. I'd like to say it again. I think that the public enjoys the community band, but I think the biggest benefit is the people in the band.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think and you could see. It's because it's a lot of work to do this,
is.
and like you say, a lot of them are older, but they show up early. I
They
see
do.
them there at the concert, and they're putting all the chairs up, and
Trust me, the worst thing I can do is have to cancel a rehearsal for any reason. Snow, it doesn't matter. I'm going to hear about it because our folks look forward to playing in the band, and they want to be there.
you mentioned that about your band not performing. The performance is what drives people
It
to
is.
keep
It
them.
is.
Even in our music and our national media clientele, the musicians and the groups, it's the performance. It's getting
Yes.
out in front of people. That's what keeps them moving. That's
what
the
keeps me
energy.
moving,
Well,
too.
yeah,
I
it
mean,
is.
I-
It is.
That's what makes it fun, is to get to that final product. And
That's right.
Wow.
Right. All this.
You remember
all this
how they
practice.
sounded a month ago and how they sound now? It makes a huge difference.
And I love a band in a parade. I know we kind of pushed the band. The last parade we had about the school bands weren't going to play. I said, well,
Right.
why have a parade? If you can't have a band, there's no sense having a parade.
I remember there was one of the parades, maybe it was the Fireman's Parade last summer, and Warren County High School marched.
Right.
And of course, we were not in school at all
Right.
then, so
And we
but-
finally we twisted their arm a little bit, but they came through.
they did a great
They lit it
job.
up, and they did. They came
really
through.
did.
The band. It wasn't a full band, but it was a band that played, or they were at
Right,
least marching
right.
in the band, and that's what we got to do.
Once again, all those precautions you've got to
That's
take.
right.
You've got to be safe first. But I'm looking forward to the bands getting back to normal. I'm retiring, so I won't have the RMA band back out marching again. But Michael D'Amato next year will have them out, and I'm sure they'll be back in the fray doing it again.
Yeah, they do a good job. They
thank
show up. I hope they some sort of participation. I don't know what they're going to do at Memorial Day this year, because they normally show up to Veterans Day or.
We're there at Veterans Day, but we'll be out of school. Our graduation is a week from Saturday.
Right,
so-
but I know you do the Veterans Day thing, so
Yes,
that'll
we
come
do.
in the fall. So hopefully everything's back and you can perform. That the school can perform.
That's a great event. The
It is.
Veterans Day in Front Royal, 3 high school bands. Where else could you get 3 high school bands to come out and play for an event like
That's
that?
right. It is moving. It's great.
Yes.
It's like they know what they're doing. They're good. I
Yes,
I think
yes.
it's good the competition between the bands. I think they look.
Well, but we really don't look at that as a competition
No,
so
but
much.
you
But
know that they-
certainly you don't want to have another band look better than you do. But the local bands do a great job. They
Right.
really do.
Well, I know that you're going to not stop working when you retire, and I assume
No.
we're going to continue our Richards bus tours.
I'm going to continue.
Hopefully,
working-
they'll get back into.
Yeah, hopefully they'll get back on the road more. We're still on the road, but I'm going to continue driving buses for Richards Bus Lines. I'm also going to do some driving for RMA. I've told people I'm not retiring from life. I'm just retiring from my teaching job. I've reached that age where it's time to slow the pace a little bit.
Yeah.
But I intend to continue conducting the community band, and so that'll keep my fingers in music.
Sure.
And my second job there, doing the bus driving, I'll do that, and maybe have a little free time to spend some time with my dog and relax.
Yeah. He's gonna relax by driving a bus full of high school kids going to a band concert somewhere. That's relaxing, isn't it?
Well, at least when I get there and get off the bus, I can listen. I don't have to work.
Well, I don't know. No one, they'll get that stick in your hand. One of these days, they'll say,
Right.
"Oh, well, so and so sick. Oh, Ed, can you fill in?" You know, and I know you would. I know.
Oh,
you
I would. I certainly would.
You're not going to wait, but it's great. Richard's Bus Lines, by the way, it does a really great job, and they're really we'll call them local.
Yes, they're
boats
local,
company,
Luray, but I don't own the company, by the way. The
had
name
the-
makes confusion. I don't own the
Right.
company, but I certainly have enjoyed working for them for the last 15 or 16 years on a part-time basis.
Right. They say good things about you. We've had them in here talking about the bus lines last year, and they didn't use your name in vain or anything.
Well, that's good.
Well, Ed, you've done such a great job in our community over the 50 years that you've been around here,
Right.
a long time. People look forward to seeing you. You've done great. All three of my kids were in your band,
Right.
and only one of them went to the community band. He hasn't played much. He's moved to St. Louis. Susan has said a couple of weeks ago, "I'm going to try to get my saxophone out and see if I can still play it." So that's something that they've learned.
Tuesday nights, 7:30 p.m. at the RMA band
I
room.
tried to tell her to join the community band,
That's
but
the way to do it.
and we'd get old George Hotchkiss to show up with his trombone.
With his
Would be-
trombone,
would good.
absolutely.
He's a good player.
Yes, he is a very fine player.
Very fine. Hey, but he's reached that age in his life where he doesn't think he's playing that well. I said, George, no one knows. Just your neighbor, the guy sitting next to you, will play a
Right.
little harder and cover up for you.
But we have a good time,
It
and
is.
that's
You
the
can tell they
important thing
enjoy it.
about the community band is everybody has a good time, and it's a fun activity, and we come up with a good product too. So
Well, there is a website for the band.
there is the band has a website. It's alcband.org, American Legion Community Band, alcband.org.
They can find out more information. You have your schedule on there and all the contact information.
I'm not sure how current the contact information is there. I'm not sure how current the schedule is because we quite honestly have been shut down. We don't know, other than that we're working towards July the 2nd. But there are great clips of band concerts, and there's a multitude of information about the band and the music we play. And
Right. And go to the search bar on the Royal Examiner and just look for community band, and you'll find several
Yes.
concerts we've done over the years, and it's good. I mean, we try to do that and bring that to the community and share
that's
that.
a great service. You've done that both with the community band, with my band at the Academy.
Yeah, we do the RMA
really-
concerts at Christmas, and
Really enjoy having them posted when we hosted the National Military School
Right,
Band
we did
Festival
that,
last
yes.
year. You posted that, and that I know that was watched by people all over the United States.
it was. We
Yes.
had hundreds several thousand views of some of these.
Right.
So it's good that you might only have a few hundred people show up to the concert, but when you
Right.
get thousands of people to watch it after the fact, it makes you feel like your effort
Yes.
was worth it.
Yes, absolutely.
That's great. Well, yet again, I just can't say enough good things about you because you've been a real influence on my kids and kids of all the community, and I think these things that you've touched a lot of lives, and that's
Oh,
something.
thank
to
you
be
so
said.
much. Thank you.
I really appreciate all the things
I've
you've done.
enjoyed and I'm staying in Front Royal, but I've enjoyed Front Royal. I settled here after college and never went back to Tidewater.
Well, we're glad you did or didn't. All right, good. That's the community band. Go to alcband.org. Check them out there. If you've ever played in a band, even if you don't think you're that good, show up to the rehearsal and find out. And little practice goes a long way.
Right. The first rehearsal is Tuesday night, June 1st.
At the RMA Band Room.
Right.
You can't miss it.
7:30 p.m.
All right. Thanks again, Ed. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike.